What's going on, everybody? Devil's Advocate here. Now, I'm pretty sure everybody knows by now, worldwide news, Donald Trump and his wife Melania Trump have tested positive for the coronavirus. They got the COVID-19. They got the COVIDs. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and give you my breakdown and my thoughts on this whole situation and give you a little bit of perspective from Devil's Advocate. So I thought that this morning I would give a little bit more balanced assessment, right? So instead of, everybody knows that I like to use Breitbart and Fox News or whatever. So I said, look, you know what? Let me go ahead and take a source from a place I wouldn't normally use a source from, CNN, which is about as bad as you can get, right? As far as how they cover Donald Trump. So let's go ahead and use CNN politics. All right, here we go. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump have tested positive for COVID-19. We got good old Jim Acosta in there, the man we know that gives Donald Trump nothing but problems. But anyways, here we go. CNN, President Trump announced early Friday that he and his wife both tested positive for the coronavirus, an extraordinary development coming months into the global pandemic, and in the final stretch of his re-election campaign, which he has flouted experts, their guidance in preventing the disease's spread. I hate how that whole paragraph is worded, but I digress. And by the way, this is absolutely not an extraordinary development, but I digress once again. The diagnosis amounts to the most serious known health threat to a sitting president in decades, which is not true, but again, I digress. At 74 years old and obese, like Nancy Pelosi said, right? He's obese. Trump falls into the highest risk category for serious complications from the disease, which has killed more than 200,000 Americans and more than 1 million people worldwide. Whatever. His infection with the disease could prove destabilizing in an already fraught political climate, and the stock market futures tumbled on the news of Trump's infection. Now, I'm going to go ahead and leave that there, right? We got good old typical CNN coverage of this, but I'm going to give you my opinion. So, first and foremost, I've said it before. I don't believe in coincidences at all. I believe in perfect timing, orchestrated perfect timing. Hear me out. So, we know, I think regardless of your political view, it is pretty safe to say that a Trumper or a pro-Trump person or a Trump supporter, they're going to vote Trump no matter what. There is nothing that Donald Trump can do at this point. He'd have to do something way out of character for him to lose any voters. I think it's pretty safe to say that whoever's going to vote for Trump is going to vote for Trump. Period. He knows that. Joe Biden's voter base is a little bit different. He's got your normal Democratic voter, and then he's got his far lefties out there. But I digress. But the point I'm making is this. So we've got a clear-cut divide in the voter base, right? It's like, man, you're either on one side or the other. So I said this a long time ago, before any of this even happened. I said, if I was a strategist, now you got to remember, Donald Trump's a strategist. He might not always say the best things, and some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth sometimes can be questionable. But he's a man of action, and actions always speak louder than words. And the people that support Donald Trump support his actions. They're like, you know what? This man not always say the right thing. Sometimes some of the shit he might say might be flat out crazy. But the dude, when it's time to take action, his actions are right. His actions speak volumes. His actions are always a net benefit for the American people. So that's how he keeps his voter base, and that's how he stays popular. It's through his actions. But anyways, I was like, you know what? If I was a strategist, if I was a man of action, what could I do? What could I possibly do that might get more of the American people, since the coronavirus has been made to be such a political thing, and it shouldn't be, right? It shouldn't be such a political thing. People are using this as a political tool. But how can I use this to try to get more people comfortable with the idea of just getting life back to normal? There's a line drawn in the sand. But how can I bring more people over to my side of the line, where they're looking at either A, trying to get America open again and getting this country back to normal, or B, more shutdowns, more lockdowns, more hunkering down in the basement? How can I make this a clear-cut divide where people are just going to say it's this way or that way, but let me go over to Donald Trump's side because I like the way this picture looks a little bit better? I think the best way for me to do that, I'm just going to have to catch the whole damn coronavirus. I just got to catch the COVID myself. I got to catch it myself. And if me, as the leader of the free world, in the most dangerous demographic of being in my mid-70s and technically overweight, if I can catch this bug, if I can catch the China virus, still do my job within the scope of my capabilities, given my restrictions, recover, and come out on top, that might give some more American people a little bit more confidence in the idea that we need to go back to normal again. If Donald Trump, if President Trump, if the leader of our country can catch this and he's in the most dangerous demographic and he comes out on top, I should be able to do that. If he can do that, I can do that. That's called leading by example. Like I said, I don't believe in coincidence. What are the odds that he went all this time, the way he's tested, the way he's protected, and doesn't get COVID at all, and he gets it conveniently right after he completes his first debate? I don't know. You tell me. So, and don't be surprised. I'm going to throw this out there. Now, is there a good chance that I might eat all these words in a couple of weeks? Sure. But I think, A, he's going to make a 100% recovery. I think you're going to see him all over Twitter. You're going to see him everywhere. He's just going to be doing everything he normally does without being physically in person. He's going to be all over the place. And he's going to get better. He's not going to get sick from this. And I guarantee you, on the way out, don't be surprised. I think that in the process of his recovery, after he's fully recovered, there's going to be something that he used in the form of a therapeutic that's going to be presented to the American people. And they'll be like, look, this is what Donald Trump used to get better from the COVID-19, from the coronavirus. You heard it here. I might eat all these words, but like I said, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in proper and perfect timing. Everything at this point is an orchestrated move on a chessboard in an effort to win this election. You think that this was an accident? You don't think that the government had the capability of keeping this completely covered up if he had COVID-19 and just not tell anybody? They could have. They absolutely could have. You don't think that he would have had the ability to have a very discreet group of people who tested him and it gave him privatized testing and privatized results? Absolutely, they could have. He made an announcement. There's a reason for this. Keep that in mind. Watch what I say and see how this unfolds. Over and out.